Morning arrives, and with it, a quiet invitation. The glow of your phone lights up the room, notifications piling up like whispers demanding attention, and the world outside pulses with relentless speed. In these first fragile moments, before the day fully takes hold, there is an opportunity to reclaim your mind, to pause and cultivate a calm center amidst the noise. Today, we turn to Stoic morning rituals, practices rooted in ancient wisdom that have guided thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. These rituals are more than routines. They are a doorway to a life of focus, intention, and inner peace. In this journey, we will explore how principles forged thousands of years ago can still shape your daily rhythm, transforming the first hours of the day into a foundation of strength, clarity, and calm. In the quiet of early morning, before the world fully awakens, there is a stillness that feels almost sacred. A soft light filters through the blinds, and the distant hum of life begins to stir. It is in these moments that Stoic philosophy whispers across centuries, inviting you to pause, to breathe, and to turn inward. For thousands of years, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca have looked to these first hours as a chance to cultivate inner strength, a calm resilience that does not depend on the chaos of the outside world. Even today, the rhythm of modern life seems relentless. Notifications flash, deadlines press, and the mind feels pulled in 100 directions at once. Yet, in this turbulence, the principles of Stoicism remain as relevant as ever. They remind us that while we cannot always control the external, we can master our internal landscape. Our thoughts, attitudes, and responses are the true instruments of freedom. This is the enduring power of ancient wisdom. It reaches across millennia to offer guidance, not an abstract theory, but in the tangible practice of daily mindfulness. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast landscape, the wind stirring gently around you, carrying the echoes of centuries. In that stillness, a question emerges. What does it mean to live with purpose, to act with clarity, and to meet each moment with courage? Stoic philosophy does not offer easy answers, but it provides a framework for exploration, a map for navigating the inner terrain. It teaches that inner strength is cultivated through reflection, disciplined action, and the conscious shaping of one's character. From here, we turn to the lives of the Stoics themselves. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, faced unimaginable pressures, yet he wrote quietly in his journal each morning, reminding himself that his power lay not in controlling events, but in mastering his own thoughts. Seneca, navigating political intrigue and personal loss, urged that wisdom is measured not in wealth or fame, but in the serenity of the mind. Epictetus, once a slave, found freedom in the realization that one's mind can remain unshaken, no matter the external circumstance. Their stories are more than historical footnotes. They are a living testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Now imagine carrying this awareness into your own mornings. The ritual is not elaborate. A moment of stillness, a reflection on intention, a conscious effort to meet the day with equanimity. These small practices, repeated consistently, become a source of profound inner strength. They anchor the mind, provide clarity, and cultivate a sense of calm that is impervious to the fleeting disturbances of the external world. In these quiet moments, the lessons of Stoic philosophy are not abstract. They are lived experienced and felt in the steady rhythm of your breath and the gentle awareness of the present. But there's another layer to consider. The endurance of these ideas over thousands of years invites reflection on their nature. What is it about Stoicism that allows it to remain meaningful across eras, cultures, and contexts? Perhaps it is its universality. It speaks to the human condition itself, to the struggles and uncertainties that are intrinsic to life. It does not promise a life free of difficulty. Rather, it equips us to face challenges with wisdom and composure. The ancient wisdom embedded in these practices forms a bridge between past and present, allowing us to walk alongside thinkers whose lives were shaped by both turmoil and insight. As we reflect on these Stoic morning rituals, consider the subtle ways they shift perception. To wake each day with a conscious intention is to reclaim agency over one's mind. To pause before reacting is to recognize the sovereignty of thought over impulse. To cultivate gratitude and clarity, even in small moments, is to build a foundation for enduring peace. Through this lens, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. A simple breath, a quiet reflection, a measured action each is an exercise in daily mindfulness and conscious living. In the stillness of your own morning, you might sense a connection to the countless individuals who have walked this path before. Across centuries, from the libraries of Rome to the quiet corners of philosophical study, the Stoics cultivated practices that shaped their inner lives. Their approach was not theoretical. It was practical, intentional, and profoundly human. In embracing these rituals, we participate in a tradition of inspirational storytelling, a lineage of thought that emphasizes clarity, focus, and the strength of the mind over circumstance. Yet the questions linger, gently, as they must. Why do these teachings endure? Why does the wisdom of a Roman emperor, a philosopher navigating exile, a once enslaved thinker, continue to resonate today? Perhaps it is because they speak to something universal, something intrinsic to human nature, the desire for clarity, the yearning for resilience, and the pursuit of a life not dictated by external tumult. Stoic philosophy invites us to consider not only how we live, but why we live, encouraging reflection that transforms fleeting insight into enduring practice. Now, as the light shifts and the day begins to assert itself more fully, imagine carrying forward the calm and focus cultivated in these quiet moments. Each morning becomes an opportunity, a small yet profound act of self-mastery. The Stoic rituals, rooted in reflection, mindfulness, and intention, are the tools that allow us to navigate the complexity of life with composure and wisdom. They remind us that, though we cannot command the world, we can command ourselves, and in doing so, shape the quality of every day. From here, we will turn to the origins of these morning practices, exploring war. Stoic philosophy emerged in a world of uncertainty and what it reveals about the timeless pursuit of inner strength. By tracing the lineage of these ideas, we uncover not only their historical context, but also their enduring relevance, in guiding us toward a life of focus, clarity, and quiet resilience. To understand the Stoic morning rituals, we must first journey back to the origins of Stoic philosophy itself. Born in the bustling streets of Athens and later cultivated in the disciplined halls of Rome, Stoicism emerged during times of uncertainty, political upheaval, and personal challenge. It was a philosophy forged in the crucible of human experience, shaped not by theoretical musings alone, but by the urgent need for guidance in living a life of meaning. In these early days, Stoicism presented itself as a compassway to navigate a world filled with unpredictability, and its aim was never to control external events, but to illuminate the path of the mind, offering clarity amid chaos. Imagine the world as Marcus Aurelius might have. A sprawling empire, teeming with ambition and conflict, yet intimately fragile. In such a world, the mind could easily be swept away by fear, desire, or distraction. Stoic philosophy offered a lifeline, teaching that true control lies within, in the choices we make and the attitudes we embrace. Epictetus, once a slave, lived this lesson fully. He understood that circumstances could bind the body, but they could never bind the mind. This insight became a cornerstone of Stoic practice, shaping morning rituals that anchored the soul before the day's uncertainties took hold. From these roots, Stoic morning rituals developed as a practical framework. They were not ornate ceremonies, but simple, intentional practices. Reflection, preparation, and mindful orientation toward the day ahead. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, frequently urged himself to greet the morning with clarity and purpose. Before any engagement with the world, he cultivated a quiet understanding that the mind must be disciplined, focused, and resilient. Seneca, navigating political intrigue and personal challenges, emphasized reflection as a morning practice, a time to align intention with action, and to remind oneself that virtue, not external approval, is the measure of a good life. These early rituals were deeply intertwined with daily mindfulness. They were moments set aside to confront one's own thoughts, to consider the potential challenges ahead, and to prepare the spirit for the unknown. Imagine awakening in a simple Roman room, sunlight spilling across stone walls, and pausing to reflect on what is within your control. This is the essence of the Stoic morning. A deliberate turning inward, a quiet conversation with the self, and a grounding in principles that will guide every action. Archaeological discoveries hint at how embedded these practices were in daily life. Scrolls, inscriptions, and personal journals reveal the continuity of Stoic reflection across generations. Though separated by centuries, the intent remains the same: to begin each day with awareness, discipline, and a mindful orientation toward virtue. There is an almost unexplained mystery in how these ancient practices continue to resonate today, speaking across time to our own restless, modern minds. Epictetus articulated that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. This idea forms the bedrock of morning Stoic rituals. By beginning the day with conscious reflection, we train ourselves to observe without immediate reaction, to consider before responding, and to orient our lives around what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius echoed this, reminding that the mind is a garden. What we cultivate there determines the quality of our day. Each morning becomes an opportunity to tend that garden, removing distractions, nurturing clarity, and reinforcing resilience. Now imagine translating these ancient practices into contemporary life. A modern morning might begin not in a Roman atrium, but in a quiet apartment, a park, or a simple bedroom. The principles remain unchanged. A few moments of reflection, acknowledging the uncontrollable and committing to act with integrity, focus, and calm. These practices, rooted in Stoic philosophy, remind us that external noisy emails, social media, deadlines cannot dictate the state of our minds. What we cultivate internally will shape every encounter, every decision, and every moment of presence. The beauty of these rituals lies in their adaptability. While Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus lived in vastly different circumstances from our own, their guidance transcends context. Stoic morning practices are designed to fortify the mind against uncertainty, to prepare the heart for challenge, and to anchor the spirit in what is meaningful. Daily mindfulness, tuk simple, becomes a tool for cultivating courage, patience, and wisdom. It is an ancient blueprint for a life lived with intentionality and depth. As we examine the Stoics' interpretations, it becomes clear that the practice is less about rigid structure and more about conscious engagement. Marcus Aurelius' reflections on life, Epictetus' teachings on control, and Seneca's meditations on virtue converge on one point: the mind must be trained each day. Morning rituals serve as a rehearsal for the day's ethical and emotional challenges. They are exercises in calm narration, internal dialogue, and reflective discipline. By committing to these moments, we participate in an ancient lineage of inspirational storytelling, a chain of human experience emphasizing wisdom over impulse, reflection over reaction, and conscious choice over unconscious drift. From here, the Stoic morning transforms into a tool for living, a bridge between philosophical thought and practical action. The rituals embody the core belief that while the world is unpredictable and often uncontrollable, the mind can remain steady. They cultivate an awareness that is not passive but deliberate, not reactionary but intentional. Every morning, the mind is given a chance to orient itself, to practice resilience, and to embrace clarity. Through these ancient rituals, we glimpse the timeless pursuit of inner strength, a pursuit that has guided emperors, scholars, and seekers alike. Now, as we prepare to explore how these morning practices translate into contemporary life, consider this: the Stoic morning is a rehearsal for mastery, an invitation to engage with life on your terms. It teaches that strength, focus, and calm are cultivated through consistent, mindful practice. The origins of these rituals reveal not just a philosophy, but a lived wisdom, one that remains profoundly relevant, offering guidance, perspective, and serenity to anyone willing to engage with it each day. Philosophy becomes alive only when it moves from thought to action. Stoic philosophy is not a distant concept confined to texts or historical reflection. It is a guide for daily living, from the first quiet moments of morning to the decisions and interactions that fill your day. Its principles invite conscious choice. Each action, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to embody resilience, clarity, and virtue. When these principles are applied consistently, the The mind is trained to navigate uncertainty with steadiness and composure, transforming ordinary experiences into moments of meaningful practice. Imagine beginning your workday with this awareness. A task that might usually provoke anxiety or distraction is approached with deliberate focus. Fear of failure or judgment no longer dictates behavior. Instead, attention is directed with care, and effort is measured with patience. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply, reminding that our power lies in how we respond, not in controlling outcomes. By consciously observing thoughts and actions, we cultivate an internal stability that supports effectiveness without sacrificing calm. This is the practical essence of Stoic morning practices, grounding ourselves in the things we can control, while letting the uncontrollable flow around us. In relationships, the application of Stoic principles transforms interaction from reaction to reflection, listening with full presence, without immediately responding to impulses of irritation or impatience, allows understanding to emerge. Epictetus emphasized that judgment shapes experience, not external events. By maintaining awareness of our own thoughts and emotions, we can engage with others from a place of composure and empathy. Simple morning practices of reflection and intention strengthen this capacity, preparing the mind to meet daily social challenges with patience and insight. Even in solitude, the Stoic approach is transformative. A quiet morning, a few moments of journaling or contemplation can anchor the mind and cultivate gratitude. Seneca advised, practicing reflection at the start of each day, considering what is truly within one's control and what is not. These moments are not indulgences. They are exercises in mental clarity, providing a foundation for calm engagement with life. Through daily mindfulness, the inner life becomes a source of strength, equipping you to face both external turbulence and internal unrest with equanimity. The process of translating Stoic thought into daily habits can be subtle yet profound. Begin with small practices. A morning reflection on intention, noting what matters most for the day ahead, acknowledging potential obstacles without fear. This simple exercise trains attention and cultivates perspective. By repeatedly centering the mind on purpose and principle, you create a rhythm of resilience that extends beyond the morning. Calm narration within oneself becomes a continuous practice, shaping how decisions are made, how actions are taken, and how presence is maintained. Now, imagine carrying this into your professional life. Meetings, deadlines, and unexpected challenges are approached with measured awareness. The mind observes reactions, identifies what is within control, and chooses deliberate action. The chaos of external circumstances no longer dictates the quality of experience. Instead, focus is sustained through disciplined practice. Daily mindfulness transforms productivity into intentional effort, and tasks are approached with both clarity and calm. The Stoic morning ritual serves as a rehearsal, preparing the mind to act with precision, integrity, and balanced attention. In relationships, this practice continues. Conflict, criticism, or emotional turbulence can be met with patience and understanding rather than immediate response. Awareness of one's judgments allows empathy to guide interaction, enabling connection without losing composure. The principles of Stoic philosophy extend beyond self-mastery to include the cultivation of harmonious engagement with others, illustrating how internal discipline supports external harmony. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to live the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, transforming ordinary communication into mindful practice. The morning ritual also nurtures the inner landscape during solitude. Journaling thoughts, noting intentions, and reflecting on the day ahead provide a structured way to cultivate clarity and gratitude. These few minutes of focused presence create momentum for the mind, fostering resilience and emotional balance. Daily mindfulness anchors attention, allowing calm to pervade the day, regardless of external events. This is the essence of Stoic application. Practice transforms abstract philosophy into lived experience, where understanding and action converge in the quiet rhythm of morning reflection. Through consistent engagement, small practices compound into substantial change. The quiet pause before action, the deliberate observation of thoughts, and the commitment to act with integrity shape the mind over time. Morning reflection becomes a sanctuary of clarity, empowering the individual to navigate uncertainty, stress, and challenge with measured presence. The Stoic morning is not an obligation. It is an invitation to cultivate the conditions of inner peace, resilience, and strength, establishing a foundation for mindful engagement with the world. Now consider the continuity of these practices across time. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca each emphasized the importance of reflection, preparation, and intentional action. These rituals, while ancient, maintain relevance in modern life, offering a template for conscious living amidst complexity. The wisdom of daily mindfulness, embedded in Stoic morning routines, illustrates that the cultivation of virtue and focus is not dependent on circumstance, but on deliberate practice. Each morning offers a fresh opportunity to embody these principles, strengthening the mind and fortifying the spirit. Ultimately, Stoic morning rituals transform philosophy into action. The conscious choice to observe, reflect, and act with clarity shapes not only the quality of the day but the character of the self. Calm narration, intentional reflection, and disciplined awareness allow the inner life to guide external behavior, illustrating the enduring power of Stoic philosophy. Through these simple, consistent acts, we learn that strength, clarity, and peace are cultivated gradually through mindful repetition and unwavering attention to what truly matters. Now we move to the next step, exploring how these morning practices cultivate enduring focus and inner peace. This journey connects ancient wisdom with modern life, showing that even small daily acts of reflection, mindfulness, and disciplined intention can build a deep foundation of clarity, resilience, and steady, quiet strength that shapes every day. From the quiet reflection of early mornings to the unfolding hours of the day, Stoic philosophy continues to illuminate the path of focus and peace. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca resonates not only across centuries, but also across cultures, echoing in modern interpretations by thinkers like Ryan Holiday and contemporary psychological research. At the heart of their teaching lies a simple yet profound truth. The true source of power is the mastery of oneself, the steady governance of thoughts, emotions, and attention. Now imagine carrying this mastery into the rhythm of daily life. The first moments upon waking become a sanctuary for the mind, a time to cultivate awareness before the noise of the day intrudes. Through quiet reflection, intentional breathing, or journaling, the mind practices calm narration, setting a tone of clarity and focus. Each deliberate act, no matter how small, becomes a thread woven into a broader tapestry of mindful living, reinforcing resilience and composure. Consider how morning rituals shape the day in practical ways. In work, the clarity cultivated through intentional reflection allows tasks to be approached with precision and purpose. Deadlines, interruptions, and unforeseen challenges are met with steadiness rather than reaction. The mind, having practiced self-mastery and stillness, navigates external turbulence with a balance that feels both natural and empowered. Daily mindfulness transforms ordinary activities into exercises of focus, discipline, and ethical engagement. Relationships, too, are transformed through these practices. Listening becomes an act of presence, not mere reaction. Conflicts are met with patience and understanding, guided by insight rather than impulse. Epictetus' teaching reminds us that our judgments shape our experience more than the events themselves. By orienting the mind through morning reflection, we cultivate empathy and measured responses, allowing interactions to become opportunities for conscious engagement and mutual respect. Even solitude gains depth and purpose through these rituals. A few moments of intentional awareness, reflection, or journaling nurtures gratitude and emotional stability. Seneca's meditations highlight the value of considering the day ahead, acknowledging both the challenges and the opportunities to act with virtue. These minutes, often overlooked, become the foundation upon which focus and peace are built. The seemingly ordinary acts of preparing the mind in the morning compound into an enduring sense of inner strength. Modern research in psychology affirms what the Stoics have long understood. Deliberate reflection, mindful attention, and intentional action cultivate resilience and emotional regulation. The Stoic morning rituals are early exercises in self-forming habits that influence decision-making, stress response, and interpersonal interactions throughout the day. From ancient wisdom to contemporary insight, the connection is clear. Focus and peace are cultivated through repeated practice and conscious awareness. Now picture the cascading effect of these morning rituals. A calm, focused mind carries clarity into each interaction, each choice, each challenge. The seemingly small act of intentional reflection upon waking sets a trajectory for the day, influencing work performance, emotional balance, and social harmony. What may begin as a brief pause for self-awareness becomes the anchor for a consistent action guided by reason, insight, and ethical consideration. But there is a deeper dimension to consider. In a world of constant noise, the act of stillness itself becomes a form of resistance. Choosing calm, focus, and self-mastery is a quiet rebellion against the distractions and compulsions that dominate modern life. Each morning, the practice of reflection, journaling, or mindful attention asserts the sovereignty of the mind, reminding us that the external world cannot dictate our inner state. The Stoic ritual becomes a daily affirmation of agency, clarity, and intentional living. Reflecting on these practices invites deeper questions. What kind of person do you wish to become? What guiding philosophy will shape your choices and define your path? Morning rituals are not merely routines. They are formative exercises in self-knowledge and ethical cultivation. They offer an opportunity to connect with the lineage of thinkers who have pursued virtue, clarity, and resilience, from Roman emperors to modern philosophers, and to translate that wisdom into lived experience. Each morning, the mind is given the chance to practice mastery over impulses, to align intention with action, and to cultivate a state of calm alertness. Marcus Aurelius' reflections, interpreted today through modern lenses, remind us that our focus and peace are cultivated, not discovered by chance. By integrating these rituals into daily life, we create a scaffold for ethical and mindful living, where thought, emotion, and action are harmonized through consistent practice. In the quiet unfolding of a well-practiced morning, the subtle power of these rituals becomes evident. The mind, grounded in self-awareness and disciplined reflection, navigates challenges with grace. Each decision is informed by reason rather than distraction, each action guided by principle rather than impulse. The continuity of practice builds not only resilience, but also the capacity for genuine joy and equanimity. Stoic philosophy, from Marcus Aurelius to Ryan Holiday, illustrates that focus and peace are cultivated gradually, anchored in daily acts of mindful attention. Finally, the simplicity of morning rituals is their greatest strength. They require no elaborate setting or special circumstance, only a willingness to pause, observe, and engage with the present moment. The calm, focused energy developed through these practices radiates outward, shaping the quality of thought, interaction, and experience. In the noise of modern life, the intentional stillness of the morning becomes a profound tool, a method for aligning the self with reason, virtue, and purpose. From here, we move toward concluding our reflection on Stoic morning rituals, considering their deeper impact on daily life. These simple, intentional choices made at the start of each day cultivate lasting focus, resilience, and inner calm. By bridging centuries of ancient wisdom with practical modern application, we see how even modest daily practices, quiet reflection, mindful intention, or journaling can gradually transform thoughts, behaviors, and perspectives, shaping the trajectory of life. Each small act of mindfulness becomes a stepping stone toward clarity, strength, and a sustained sense of inner peace that carries through every day. Remember that each morning offers a new opportunity to practice focus, awareness, and inner calm. Stoic morning rituals, simple yet profound, can transform the way you perceive the world and guide your actions throughout the day. A few quiet minutes of reflection, journaling, or mindful breathing allow the mind to anchor itself, cultivating resilience, clarity, and a sense of purpose. True inner strength is not gained in a single day. It is developed gradually, moment by moment, morning by morning. By starting with intention, you lay the foundation for a life guided by Stoic philosophy, where thoughts, choices, and attitudes shape your experience more than external circumstances ever could. If you found this video helpful, consider liking and subscribing, leaving a comment about the morning habit you want to try, and joining us on this journey of Stoic-inspired growth. Each small step in daily mindfulness is a step closer to lasting focus, peace,